nut job channels about Natalie Bollinger. Somebody was replying in it who calls themselves MeeMee. So, MeeMee said something that is as far from the truth as it can get. And that's where people's assumptions come in. MeeMee, you can tell by reading everything that MeeMee is typing that MeeMee means well. There is no animosity in what MeeMee typed. There's no animosity in it. There's ignorance, but it's easily resolved. MeeMee wanted to type about how people's judgments, basically, they shouldn't affect me because they have to live with those judgments, not me. That's not true. The reason I've been speaking out for all these years is because that's not true. People's judgment over situations that they weren't there for because drug addicts wanted to, well, try to save some face at the expense of someone who they thought nobody would matter or care about, and nobody does. You know, they want to, in concept, oh man, that's messed up. Or, you know, there's the ones who hate me for the things that I had to do. A lot of folks say things like, well, did they hold a gun to your head? Well, yeah. You know, when people ask Rose M. Kelly how scary Ted Bollinger is, at my grandma's funeral, Ted Bollinger is on Alicia Bollinger's account on YouTube, getting a hold of me, messaging me and being an ass. And right after I respond to him, he erases the message that he just sent and sends me another one. He did this for 7 hours. Graham was passed out on the floor most of the time. I was there for my grandma's funeral. It was a bad scenario. Ted Bollinger, he gets on there. He's trying to goat me into something. And you know what? If he was trying to goat me into going to see him so he could put a bullet in my head, I'd have been fine with it for not. The fact that there was no indication at all from him that Alicia was alive or okay. None. This is my grandma's funeral. You know, I'm not there for bullshit. I'm there to doesn't matter, does it? Everybody's got a dead grandma. And what did I do? I made sure my grandma was finished being buried, and I went back to fucking business. Went back to saving lives. I went back to doing what it is I always did. A lot of folks want to say, well, you can't help what people think, but you can help how you react. Here's the thing. I did evil things. No, I did absolutely necessary things. Necessary for the preservation of human life. And people just don't want to understand that. They don't want to stop and look at the scenario, look at the situation, look at the actual evidence. Why is it that I was prevented from going to so many court dates? Why is it that they stretched these things out as long as they could and then dropped the charges when the statute of limitations on turning in my predators was over? Why is it that every single time I had to go in the beginning, every single time until Molly Smith, I had to go in by myself. Molly Smith went in with me for one situation. And after that, it was a very difficult thing because of her health issues. And you know what? What was written down by the cops in the courts, all these folks saying, oh, it doesn't make any difference. It doesn't make any difference. It absolutely makes a fucking difference. If you're going to tell me that I am slandering your name by repeating the things that the cops said and wrote down in my court paperwork, that's right. They outright fucking slandered me, and they slandered you too. You forcing me to fucking put that on YouTube and Facebook. Obviously not MeeMee, but my friends. The people that I'd gone to for help before Natalie was killed. Magically, it's like, there are certain things that if you say them, people don't want to help somebody. They don't want to put their neck out there just in case, because you never know. But then again, when you've got people in professional positions that get away with doing that stuff. Polly Olson, you think that $18,000 is the first time she went through that much money? No. She was dating Jim Hayes when he got busted with all that fucking embezzling. He used to be a former sheriff in Dual County. He was the sheriff when I was in high school. Matter of fact, I got into a fight with Zach Metcalf. I beat him up on accident. Long story. Kim Jepson and that dude would being a bully, and of course Kim Jepson dating Michael McBee, who was a sheriff's son in Sedgwick County, Colorado. God, that guy was a fucking douchebag. You don't get to grab my friends out of their vehicle by their fucking hair and fucking think I'm okay with it. That's when I started smoking cigarettes. I was pretty disgusted with Kim Jepson, and I just wanted to get the hell away from her. I was scared of her. I am scared of any woman who goes back to a dude who does that, because I know that any dude dumb enough to fucking try to rescue her from that is probably going to get the fucking shit end of the stick. I knew that from history. And I don't mean written history, from Mr. Einram's class. I know that from my personal history. I know that from the history of others in my presence. I've got probably close to 4 dozen homeless people right now that have been missing for 3 years or more. That you guys lose one person and you fucking lose your fucking shit. You completely fucking lose it. How I react is out of necessity, because this is for you. It's your grandma. You're allowed to be sad. You're allowed to be sad for years and mourn for years. I have been letting people know recently how I really feel about all of their bullshit. They found me over their drama, over killing people, over true crime, over creepy shit. And then they come on with me, and they have their chance to be a good person, to look at all the evidence and to actually share it, to actually delve into the story and find out if those things are true. Find out, would people looking at that situation, looking at, especially if you consider a lot of people aren't watching the whole video. They're listening to part of it on a break at work, or they're watching part of it on something else, and then they don't listen to the whole thing. They get on and they start researching a little bit and kind of skimming over stuff. Next thing you know, I got some fucking nut job who's a pizza delivery boy at fucking Domino's getting a hold of me. Boy, am I glad nobody from Domino's ever gets a hold of me. Natalie wasn't the first person to die horribly. She wasn't the first missing person I helped to find. I helped to find her sister 3 times after she disappeared, Miss MeeMee. the assaults that I've endured, the depravity and inhumanity, the threats against my family's lives, the harassment, intimidation, and vandalism. I don't know how to express to you that I've tried my best. You know, when Candace Bondurant, when they were harassing her and her kids, you know, and people got this idea about me. All these folks that I know had this idea about me that as soon as people started doing this to them, that I was supposed to go kill them. Are you fucking insane? Are you fucking insane? You get to hear that in the conversation with Desiree. She wanted me to take out street justice on Kevin McGregor. He lives across the street from the Camilla shelter in Cheyenne, Wyoming. He's a guy who runs the trap house that I rescued Desiree from not once but twice because she was addicted. She went back to that because I didn't let her know where the drugs were in Sydney. Andrew Witcher had methamphetamine. She was addicted to methamphetamines. I was babysitting for Amy and Andrew Witcher. And I had Desiree at my apartment, and Christine Muheet was letting me know, you know, you have to, somebody who's coming down from meth, you have to keep them entertained. If you can keep them entertained and try to keep them smiling, they can survive it. They'll do just fine, but you got to stay with them. And for me, I also had to try to show the truth about the situation with Natalie and her horrible fucking family and the fucking gaslighting. No, there are still very real consequences for me and for my sister. I wasn't homeless when Natalie was killed. I was forced into homelessness because Natalie was killed. I had my apartment in Chapel, but I was never there, so I mean, that wouldn't have done any good. And at Ken and Leah's, they said if the cops ever showed up there for me, that I was gone. So before Natalie was killed, I was trying my best to get, well, a lot of different people into court. I wanted to get Jonathan Hickson into court and find out why he was being such a fucking asshole. I was trying to get Tim Beeson into court. I was trying to get Natalie and Alicia and Maddie into court. Like, seriously, this is some fucked up shit they put me through. Just because I love you doesn't mean that I'm gonna fucking take the abuse for you for all eternity. Are you out of your fucking mind? But here's the fact of the matter, I actually am. I actually am. Somebody's got to fight this fight. And yeah, I do a lot of screaming. You know, I do a lot of screaming because that's what gets people's fucking attention. That's not what I should have to do. Did you know that I lit a road on fire right next to Ken Wilson and Leah Plunkett's vehicle? Yeah, that is what I had to stoop to get heard, because your concept of the situation after being slandered like this and never being allowed to show the evidence, face my accusers in court, being physically and psychologically tortured in places where, you know what, they've been all over the news for doing these things to human beings, and you're going to treat me like I'm schizophrenic for saying these things. Why is it that nobody ever helped me to get those body cameras? Why is it that nobody ever actually went in with me to turn in these crimes when they happened? Why is it that my supposed friends never spoke up? Why is it that I had to record them admitting things that they should have come out about a long time before? People like Brett Roloff. And of course, Brett Roloff, he verified everything I said about him in the situation. when I went to go see him, when I was trying to go visit Natalie, and him inviting me to go see him in North Carolina repeatedly after that. What did I keep telling him? I was scared of being that close to Natalie and her family. Yes, I'm scared of people when they fucking treat me like that and spread slander like that. A pretty girl can destroy a man's life just because she's fucking embarrassed. But MeeMee, if you type your email address in the bottom in the comment section, or you go to my email address, doggedroman@gmail.com, doggedroman@gmail.com. I'll try to send you as much as I can. Anybody else who types that in there, I'll send you as much as I can too. And I will start off by forwarding an actual email from Natalie Bollinger. You guys might recognize it. You might not. It's Natalie Bollinger telling me about how horrible her family was in 2016. It's the very same one that I exposed Ted Bollinger with on the 12th of December of 2017. On the 13th of December of 2017, Natalie made that post. She called me up one of those days. I was still asleep, and she said that I had fucked things up way worse with her family. You know, I thought that was a fucked up nightmare, but, you know, it was... Apparently it did happen. I checked through my phone, and there was a call, and it was from a number I didn't recognize, and... Her family was horrible to me before and after she was killed. Tim Beeson was her predator. Ted Bollinger was her predator. I knew who Rochelle Shelley Campbell was ahead of time, and I was also put on a lot of Facebook bans for showing evidence, for showing threats against my life, for saying that I couldn't kill James Payton. That's right. I got a Facebook ban for saying that I couldn't kill somebody. I admitted to all the stuff that I did and when I did it and showed it as well. I sent it to a lot of different people like Mandy Hughes, Mandy Singer, everyone I could. See, for you guys, this is just about Natalie. For me, it's about Natalie. It's about Daniel Kitlitz. It's about Christine Buhit. It's about CJ. It's about Brian Gray. It's about Forrest. It's about a lot of people. In this situation, it's also a situation that encompasses the children of many people I love, and you know what? All of these people, they all understood the rules from the start. The children come first. The children, not yours. The children. All of these people, all of them, at the very beginning, who let me know that their loved ones, including their children, were being threatened. All of them. Just because Candace Bondurant wanted to do the worst thing that a human being could possibly fucking do at that point in time. To outright lie and to misrepresent the situation. And I'm going to tell you what. Here's the difference between me and Candace Bondurant. I own it. I fucking own it, alright? The mean shit that I typed to her, 100% I fucking did. Absolutely, and I meant every fucking word. Every one of them. What she did was the worst possible thing that she could have done. She played on me being a sucker who's got a soft spot for Well, for kids and for single moms, she let me know what kind of danger that she felt or believed that she was in, cited the who and why, with everyone else letting me know literally that people were trying to kill them and kill their families. People like Sarah Bacon, people like Cara Rogers, aka Carmia. And I gotta deal with fucking crazies like Layla Johnson. Oh my god, what the fuck? You guys got no idea what this hell has been for me. I don't care if it's MeeMee that types this, types anything to my email address. I don't care if it's somebody else. I don't care if it's somebody who loves me or somebody who hates me. I am an equalitarian, and I believe that all of you should have access to this information, especially after being lied to by the media, being lied to by the police. I believe you should have access to the truth so that you may hold the real criminals accountable, including literally hundreds of mandated reporters. There is not enough evidence anymore after everything that was stolen to get more than maybe 200 convictions, or to at least expose a lot of sexual predators, physical predators, financial predators, primarily predators who choose positions of power where they have access to easy to discredit victims, and where those victims themselves do not have access to record the situations. The jails, the prisons, institutions, and hospitals. We can't have this. We can't be living in the fucking dark ages. With all of the electronic evidence that I have that should have been seen, with all of the paper evidence that I have that someone should have looked at and helped me to get to who it needed to get to, and thank goodness for who? Mandy fucking Singer. Mandy Singer. Y'all want to talk about the mentally ill. People call her mentally ill too, but you know what? She's a smart fucking cookie who knows her shit and has first world fucking experience and third world experience. She's worked in the corporate world and she has been an addict. Mandy Singer and I are not friends anymore. We're not. And I'm not going to pretend we are. But she and I made an agreement. She's following her end and I'm following mine. Protect your family first, absolutely. And I'll fight from a distance. The further I am away from you, the safer you are. Mandy Singer made a very good point with that. She was absolutely right. The best way to keep people safe is to get the fuck away from them. If I'm anywhere near them, and someone decides to commit a heinous crime against them, absolutely, in all of those cases, I will be looked at and blamed and possibly and probably framed, depending on where I'm at. If I'm in Dual County and my little sister got killed, or Leslie Snell got killed, or Wendell McPhee got killed, or Dallas Richmond got killed, if any one of these people that I spoke out about, whether I love them or not, it wouldn't make any difference. Just because I am in the local vicinity, they're at risk. Mandy's argument with that is that Natalie Bollinger may have been a target of opportunity. Some nut job saw her, thought she was pretty, saw me, went, you know what, I could probably kill her and get away with it, and Sean Schwartz will get blamed, and dragged her out and raped her and shot her. Given what I know of the situation and what I know of Natalie, no, she fucking absolutely made the Craigslist post. According to William Barr, former Denver deputy, he was a part of the internet investigations with that, and that not only did she post that she did actually post it on Craigslist. She actually had to post it several times because Craigslist took it down. More than once. People wanted to pretend I was crazy for saying he existed. Now, the great thing with me threatening to take him to court, him misrepresenting the situation, lying and slandering, and going out of his way in the court paperwork to be vague, non-specific, and play very heavily on lies and slander and nothing more than smoke and fucking mirrors. A lot of people are dead. I'm exhausted. I'm broke. People keep wanting to send me money. I don't know how to do this electronic stuff. I have to pay people to help me with it. I had to pay Mandy Singer, and guess what? She wouldn't even take my money. She tried the best that she could, but we were in a real time crunch, and the fucking hell that she had to go through, like, oh my God. That woman deserves a fucking merit for sainthood right there. I am not fucking easy to deal with in that situation, let alone when all of her life's fucking dominoes are tripping over themselves as well. I need someone to look at the evidence and share it. None of these web sleuth and true crime places are showing all of it. They're ignoring an entire side, and I have hundreds of conversations with witnesses recorded on my YouTube channel. Go back and look. If you go to the filters, you go to videos, you go to filters, and you go all the way back to the beginning, all of those with names and numbers on them, that tells you what date that I was able to record them. From the actual witnesses, you get to hear it from their own mouths. And those people hate me for it. But then again, why did I have to record those people and put them on YouTube? You get to hear that in those conversations as well, because I was not happy with them and I let them know. They didn't even try to contest it. But, of course, there's those folks who my little sister was threatened only 5 months ago. I'm in Hood River, Oregon because of it. I followed Mandy Singer's advice and got as fucking far away from my little sister as I could. And she also agreed with my assessment, as did many others who offered to help me, that their safety, their children's safety, my safety, and of course, the safety of many of my predators, doesn't that suck? Would be much better served for their safety if I was locked up for the rest of my life. Whether I am guilty of anything at all or not, if my name is not cleared, yes, all of these people will be at risk. But if I'm locked up, there's far less risk of that. If I'm in a federal facility, there's a possibility that they might want to work with me and do something with my evidence. That's where I need you guys to come in. I need you to look at the evidence, and I need you to push them to look at it. There's a few folks in their organization who are nuttier than squirrel turds and crooked as fuck. There are witnesses who have spoken on my channel about that, who are sane, who are of sound mind. There's a video called For Peaches the Liar on my channel, and that video itself is just me screaming and being angry. You might want to just turn off the volume on that one. I mean, it'd be nice if you listened to it and tried to understand it from an emotional level. But I'm screaming what you call hateful. No, that's projection. I'm making sure that I project my fear onto you, so you know exactly how I feel, so that you know, so that you are aware. I grew up in the system. I grew up around drug addicts. I grew up around little girls whose daddies couldn't keep their hands off themselves, and the first time they scraped with a lady Vic, just for some attention. But it's never just for attention, is it, MeeMee? It's because he kept on doing it. And when you tried to go to the people you're told to go to for help, the people you're told this is who you go to and this is happening, they didn't believe you. They didn't hear you. They didn't listen. So instead of daddy going to prison like he belongs in, you get sent to a nuthatch on an M1 mental health hold, suicide watch, where they call you mentally ill and for the rest of your life you're discredited. You got the choice of either going back to your daddy's house, at least then you can go see your friends, or you can stay in the institutions, and you'll be locked up so long that even if you do get out for high school graduation to hang out with your friends, they all think you must be a violent schizophrenic because you've been gone so long. For a victim, there is no victory. For a victim, there is no end to it. Neddies. People gave up before they ever got started. When I called them out for cowardice, with them knowing that people were dying, innocent people. I hope to show you that, and I hope that you will send me an email. Anybody who wants to send me an email and ask for that information, I'll add you to one of these strings. I'm going to try to get some sleep now. I was going to try to make a funny video about, I was talking to Dean, so I did look up my star chart finally. I was like, all right, we'll do this. So I was gonna read it all for you and then basically explain to you that I don't actually believe in all that superstitious bullshit, but it is entertaining. And of course, it boosts the ego quite a bit, don't it? Give you a big head, make you feel far more superior than you really are. That's just blustering. It's like puffing up. A peacock gets a creature coming in its area that's kind of a little bit bigger than it. It might puff up and try to intimidate the thing, just like a turkey. Anyway, I'm half asleep. My exhaust is coming into my vehicle at the moment, and it's pretty pungent. And that is an indicator that I should probably turn off my gas and probably in the morning see if there's a issue with the exhaust pipes. Also, I know from experience that this is not enough to kill me. If it was, I'd be hacking and gagging and coughing up mucus from every orifice on my body. And the reason that I know this is because I've attempted it. Alright, and I am currently locked in my vehicle. So I'm going to end this video. Y'all Good to be with you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. And remember, you are your brother's keeper.